we in the studio?
Stand by, sir. Get the lights.
Yes, sir. Striking.
Quiet on the set, please. We're on in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
Buenas noches, soy Daniel Pineda.
My name's Adele Quo.
And here we go with another show, our first show in March. Marching right along,
We made it.
2017, hard to believe. In like a lion, out like a lamb. We'll see what happens for the rest of the month of March. We have our usual lineup here tonight, so stay tuned, jot it down if you like. Our news and community bulletin board segments. Adele is here with...
It's easy being green.
Indeed she is. Our CBB file, as mentioned, community bulletin board. Denise is here reviewing the gin game. Stay tuned for that. Our news for senior segment, and then some more music, and that's our show. But before we go, a social media reminder from my part.
Absolutely, Mr. Nolan. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. Also, facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. Craig.
All right. Gracias, Senor Pineda. Well, we begin tonight with some serious information. An Arlington woman who had gone missing for about 3 weeks has been found dead. Her body was found Monday, February 9th. 56-year-old Becky McCleskey was reported as missing on Monday, February 6th. Her car was found in the parking lot of Great Falls National Park on the same day. Ms. McCleskey's body was recovered from the Potomac River near Maryland on Friday, February 24th. Police have not found evidence of foul play. She is survived by a teenage son and husband. Daniel.
Well, Craig, last week we told you about a large person of interest. County police are still looking for 37-year-old D.C. resident Jason Allen Johnson. Johnson was involved in the shooting death of a man in a home near Bishop O'Connell High School. We also have some good news concerning missing persons. 13-year-old Andre Bergstrom, who went missing from his home on North Fenwick Street, has been found and safe. Craig.
Some information now on fundraising scams that have been showing up around the area. Have you received a call recently asking you to support the police financially? Well, it may be a scam. The Arlington County Police Department is cautioning people not to respond to any unrequested phone calls seeking money for police-related cause. An Arlington resident recently received this type of call and reported it to police. According to the police department, if you do get this type of call, number 1, do not use a phone number that they give you as proof of credibility. 2, don't give them any personal banking information at all, such as your account numbers, things like that. And 3, do visit the county's fraud prevention webpage for more useful information, along with the FTC website for details on police donation scams in particular. They have a tiny URL for you here to take note of, tinyurl.com/prevent, Arlington, VA, or tinyurl.com police fundraiser fraud. So there's a heads up for you on a fraud that's been showing up around here lately. Daniel.
And Craig, speaking of money, the county board just approved a mixed market rate and affordable housing project near 4 Mile Run. The existing 2 apartments will be replaced with 2 new 5-story buildings, a public art space, and part of an expansion of the 4 Mile Run trail. 155 out of a total of 257 apartments will be earmarked as affordable. 140 of those will accommodate family dwellers with at least 2 bedrooms each. Developer AHC Inc. plans to cover construction with money from Arlington's Affordable Housing Investment Fund. AHC also aims to qualify for the Earthcraft Gold Green Building Certification, which verifies that home construction material, methods, and architecture have a minimal environmental effect. Correct.
And also some more information on the 4 Mile Run. The run is going through some refurbishing and rebuilding right now. Part of the trail south of South Eade Street will be closed for about 3 months. The stream banks and shorelines will be modified for environmental protection purposes, and they'll be doing things like trying to minimize soil erosion, maximizing water quality, and supporting fish and bird habitats. To find out more about it, you can visit projects.arlingtonva.us/types/environment, and they'll tell you more about it there on that website. Daniel.
And Craig, a different sort of construction marked the end of Black History Month in Arlington. On Sunday, February the 26th, a crowd of over 100 people gathered to remember the, quote, segregation fence that once divided the county by race over half a century ago. From the 1930s to the 1960s, the fence in North Arlington was used to indicate the division between black residents and white residents. Much of fencing is still standing today. The marker was set up to applaud recent efforts to move past Arlington's segregated history.
And finally, in our news items, more recently this year's Oscars, the incorrect nominee was announced as the Best Picture winner on national television live. It turns out that the Arlington Public School grad was part of that fiasco. The person announcing the winner, Warren Beatty, attended Washington Lee High School in the 50s and was even a student government president. You can verify this at Arlington Central Library, where you can see his picture along with that of Miss Sandra Bullock, Shirley McLean, and Katie Couric, also an Arlington school student. She went to Yorktown, I believe. Contact the Virginia Room to view those and other APS yearbooks for hours of operation. You can call them at 703-228-5966. And we'll be back with our CBB, Community Bulletin Board to file after we hear from Adele Quo and
It's easy being green.
Here's Adele.
Great, I love that greeting. Thank you so much. Welcome to another It's Easy Being Green. Spring has sprung, and it's only late February. Well, now it's early March. Joe Tree Frog and we've got lots of great sustainable landscape news for Arlingtonians that are quite ready to emerge from the winter blues. First, the Virginia Native Plant Society, VNPS, announced the 2017 Wildflower of the Year to be Actaea racemosa, more commonly known as black cohosh. Racemosa refers to its long, wand-like clustered inflorescence that some say look like candle-like flower spires, which gives it another common name, fairy candles, while another common name, black bugbane, refers to the sweet yet fetid scent to attract pollinators such as flies, gnats, beetles, and bumblebees. Prized for graceful midsummer white blooms, attractive foliage when out of bloom, and strong architectural statement for a shady border, bring this Northern Virginia native into your woodland garden. It's also effective in cottage gardens and naturalized areas. The white flower spires will really pop in front of a darker background. It's best used in groups, yet a single mature plant makes an impressive specimen once established. Black cohosh is the only known larval host for the beautiful rare Appalachian azure butterfly. This striking woodland native was formerly classified and known as Cimicifuga racemosa. Wow. Try and say that 5 times faster. Found throughout Virginia in mesic to dry forests, gardeners should not collect black cohosh in the wild. Contact the VNPS for a list of responsible native plant nurseries or email info@vnps.org, or you can try to call them at 540-837-1600. Also, let's get the word out on a new public education series on sustainable landscaping by our master gardeners of Northern Virginia, held at the Fairlington Community Center. All workshops are free, I love that word, free, and open to the public. Advanced registration requested at the website mgnv.org/events/VCE-horticulture-programs-registration. So no tiny URL there. For questions, call 703-228-6414 or email mgarlalex@gmail.com. Sign up for the whole series or just an individual session. The series draws on the principles of the Sustainable Sites Initiative, called SITES, and other federal and state conservation landscaping resources and research. Topics include soil health and water conservation on Saturday, March 11th from 9 a.m. to noon. Edible landscaping on Saturday, March 18th, 10 a.m. to noon. There's plant selection, design, and planting on Saturday, April 1st, 9 a.m. to noon. And maintaining your sustainable yard on May 6th, 9 a.m. to noon. So learn the best practices for creating an environmentally sustainable yard in our urban environment. And remember, it's easy being green, choosing locally native plants and sustainable landscaping practices this spring.
Some tough names today.
Yeah, did you catch those Latin names?
I
I'm
think
going to say it one more time because I messed it up.
Time. I think it's a lot easier to say fairy candles than, or black bug bane than the other stuff. But
That's why we have common names and Latin
very
names.
good. Good information. Thanks,
Thank you,
Adele.
Adele.
We appreciate it. As promised, now moving right along, here's our CBB Community Bulletin Board file. March is Women's History. Take two, History Month, with an S in there. If you'd like to commemorate the occasion, then you can participate in Arlington National Cemetery's free guided history tours at Women's History. On Women's History. The free public tour includes a discussion of women's contributions to the armed services and other notable women from history who are buried at Arlington National Cemetery. There'll also be a cemetery tour and a special lecture. They ask you to RSVP if you would, and here's another tiny URL for you, tinyurl.com, Women's History Tour 2017. So check that out at Arlington National Cemetery. Daniel.
They're never tiny, Craig.
Oh, probably not.
Well, if you're nostalgic for bad 80s movies and TV, then check out the Arlington Cinema and Draft House. That's on Friday, March the 3rd at 7:30 p.m. and Saturday, March the 4th at 7 p.m. You can join the Found Footage Festival. It's described as an American film festival and live comedy event featuring unusual and humorous found footage. The hosts and curators are writers for the satirical newspaper The Onion. They have been collecting wacky and obscure video footage from the unusual locations, such as thrift stores, warehouses, dumpsters, and garage sales around the U.S. for decades. They started the festival in New York in 2004 and have been touring across North America ever since. Tickets are $15. Visit their website at arlingtondrafthouse.com to buy tickets or go to foundfootagefest.com to learn more about the festival. Craig.
All right, Daniel, and also in our CBB file, if you prefer something more highbrow, then you'll want to attend Arlington Philharmonic's concert coming up Sunday, March 12 at Wakefield High School. Pianist Michael Shepard will perform Benjamin Britten's Variations and Fugue on the theme of Purcell. Andervonians, is that right? I missed that one completely. Variations on a nursery tune, Opus number 25, and Tchaikovsky's, I got that one right, Symphony number 4. The event starts at 4 in the afternoon at the school auditorium. There'll also be an art exhibit outside the building. You can check out their website, www.arlingtonphilharmonic.org, for more details. Daniel.
They're really trying to stump us.
Yeah, well, so far it's working, I think. I don't know. Your turn.
Well, if you own or manage homes, then you may be interested in the Department of Environmental Services Sustainable Landscaping series of workshops being held at the Fairlington's Community Center. These free events, yes, free, are designed to educate participants on sustainable urban landscaping techniques. To learn more about the following events and others, give them a call at 703-228-6414 or just send them an email. That's at mgarlalex@gmail.com and make sure to RSVP at mgnv.org.
Don't you just love it when you get all these emails? Somehow they look better on paper than when we try to repeat them back to you. All right. Another one of our CBB items here. Are you deciding whether to grow useful plants for eating versus pretty plants just to impress your neighbors? Well, you can have your cake or greens and eat it too. Master Gardener will show you how to combine ornamentals, herbs, vegetables, and other vegetation at a Fairlington Community Center that's coming up Sunday, March 18, from 10 in the morning till noon, midday. And finally, Daniel,
Take 3, right?
take 3, take 4, your turn.
Well, Craig, sometimes before you can deal with what grows on your land, you have to deal with what's under it. On Saturday, March the 11th at the Arlington's Community Center, you can learn how to protect and improve your soil's health. You can learn what the soil in your area is composed of, how to prevent it from eroding, composting techniques, water conservation, best practices, and much, much more. The training runs from 9 a.m. until noon.
All right, thanks, Daniel. That's our CBB file. We'll be back with seniors right after we hear from Denise and her reviews. Here's Denise.
Carolyn Griffin, the artistic director of Metro Stage, noticed the chemistry between Roz White and Doug Brown when they played in last season's Uprising. She felt that she needed to find a play to showcase them, and now they are portraying Fancia Dorsey and Weller Martin in The Gin Game by D.L. Coburn. Fancia and Weller are newcomers at the Bentley Nursing Home and meet on the sun porch one Sunday afternoon as the other residents are enjoying Visitors' Day inside. After the initial introductions are made, Weller suggests they play a few hands of gin. Fancia warns him that she doesn't know the game, but Weller convinces her to play. He proceeds to deal the cards, explain the game, and the scorekeeping. This first deal, and the deals of each subsequent game, are among the most charming, nuanced actions of the characters, as Fancia bops in her seat as they both count out the 10 cards for each of them and the 11th for her. It's a surprise that Fancia wins that hand, and every hand that is to follow. It seems to be a sweet matchup of the elderly residents. At each repeated meeting, Fancia is a little more dressed up. We never see her again with her hair in curlers after their first meeting. We even see them enjoying a dance on the sun porch. There are definite teases of romance in the air. But a happy ending is not in the cards for these two. Fancia never loses a hand, and Weller's surly temper simply cannot handle the repeated blows to his fragile ego. Thomas W. Jones II once again directs this pair of actors who play off each other so convincingly. The set, lighting, sound, and costume design bring the Bentley Nursing Home and these two aging characters to life brilliantly. In the 40 years the play has been performed, it has never failed to evoke pathos for the aging card players as they open up to each other about the successes and failures of their lives. The Gin Game continues at Metro Stage through March 12th. Deal yourself into a game of rummy with this sparring duo. Just don't count on winning against Fancia. I'm Denise Pringle for Rich Masabny. Now back to the news desk.
All right, thanks Denise and her spin on the Gin Game. The Arlington Weekly News, our windy month of March version continues now with a look at our 55 News for Seniors 55 Plus Guide. A new 55 Plus Guide was recently released by the Office of Senior Adult Programs, OSAP. There are a few upcoming courses that you may want to take note of. These include core strength conditioning, senior boot camp, seated exercises, and personal training. You can learn more in the fitness section of the guide. Be sure to register in person or by phone. Give them a call. Numbers on your screen, 703-228-4747, and their website also, registration.arlington.vaus, something like that.
USA.
Yes, USA. If you want to register in person, you can visit any county community center or senior center or go to OSAP, the Office of Senior Adult Programs, at Lubber Run, 300 North Park Drive, and they'll be glad to help you out. Daniel.
And Craig, how about this one? Tasty recipes with 5 ingredients or less. These are healthy meals you can make with just a few ingredients. It's being put on Langston Brown by the Virginia Cooperative Extension Center. It will be on Tuesday, March the 7th from 7 until noon. To let them know about when you're coming, just give them a call at 703-228-6300. Craig.
And Daniel, it's that time of year, getting ready to get out there and do some gardening on Thursday, March 9. You can get back into lawn and garden care with some tips from Bill Copeland, Take Two Copeland of Home Depot. He'll give you some easy things you can do around the house to keep it beautiful, keep your weeds under control if that's possible. Give it a try. That's coming up at Walter Reed Thursday, March 9 from 10 till 11 in the AM portion of the day. To save your spot, they ask that you give them a call to reserve a place there, 703-228-0955. And we'll be back with sign-off and bye-bye right after we hear from Miriam Gennari and another installment of her Sustainable Scoop. Here's Miriam.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. From the moment we're born, we begin to age. Although I have to say that babies don't worry about aging as much as I do. So joining me today is a brand new radio host for WERA. Her name is Cheryl Beversdorf, and she is the producer and host of Aging Matters. Welcome.
Thank you, Miriam. I am delighted to be here.
Well, it looks like you've got a hit. What a wonderful show.
Thank you.
Are you getting good feedback?
Absolutely. And, you know, it's the kind of thing, I've only done 7 shows so far, and I am absolutely enjoying the kinds of people that I've been interviewing, and it's really fun. I've learned a lot already in 7 shows.
So have I, and I think your listeners have too. Tell me, why aging? Why did you decide that was your topic? Because you're not talking about seniors, you're not talking about retirement, aging.
Well, it's actually broader than that. For example, first of all, I am a baby boomer, so I am aging, and there's a lot of issues that come up as you get older. But in addition, I have a nursing background, I have a public health degree as well as a communication degree, and I thought it would be really fun to do something that sort of combined health and aging issues. And then I heard about AIM having this new radio station, and I thought, wow, how about combining all of this expertise and doing an interview show where I would bring experts to talk about aging issues?
And what I think is so wonderful about the guests that I've heard so far is that they really shine a light on issues that sometimes you don't feel comfortable talking about, and also they provide great information. Tell me about a few of those guests.
Okay, well, because I started my show in January, there was a lovely lady from Virginia Hospital Center named Kathy Turner, and she runs a department called Health Promotion and Senior Health, and runs classes pertaining to exercise, wellness, medical alert system, cardiac issues. And I thought, wow, this would be really good in terms of healthy aging. So that was one person. There was another woman who is actually the head of the Arlington Area Agency on Aging.
Oh, they're awesome.
Right. And they provide a lot of services for Arlington residents. So these were my first 2 guests. So we got services from a local Arlington agency as well as learning about programs from Virginia Hospital Center.
But
Community-oriented.
I actually think that people who even don't live in Arlington can benefit from the show. And one show in particular that I really loved was your Valentine's Day show. Tell me about why you did that show.
Well, thank you. I really focused a lot on finding the right guest for that show because Valentine's Day. But now, when we're thinking of being older and thinking about dating, it's not like when we were young and looking out for Miss Right or Mr. Right. There's a lot of issues sometimes that we have to deal with as
You're
we
looking
get
for
older.
something different.
Yes, but still, Miriam, they might be dealing with a loss in their life. They could be divorced or have lost a spouse. So they have to deal with these issues of grief and depression and isolation. And then after they work these through, then they can start thinking about dating and, what do you do in terms of online dating? And
What do you do?
Well, that's exactly right. And so my guest was Dr. Fania Helm, who is a psychotherapist and a psychoanalyst, and she was psychologist. That was what she was, and she was able to help her clients work through these issues, but then also help them to move ahead and doing things like just lunch or maybe talking on the phone because that might be a little safer. But just little tips that can help getting out there again and
Starting over.
And starting over.
Well,
exactly.
you know, the other thing that I thought was really interesting, and she called in. So you found an expert in Virginia Beach, and the technology that we have here at the radio station allowed you to bring her voice to all of your listeners. She also counseled people on some of the pitfalls, you know, like your children or step families or finances. So all of that comes in to when you're aging and when you're dating.
Yes.
So tell me about some of the other shows that we can look forward to.
Well, I want to really look at a broad array. So we can think of everything from aging in place. So Rebuilding Together is an organization in Arlington, which is going to be on soon. In May is Mental Health Month. So we're going to be talking about brain health and Alzheimer's disease. I want to focus, again, with my health background, cancer awareness and prevention, since that's something that causes deaths in a lot of aging people.
So these are all fabulous topics. Now, what if somebody is not tuned in on Tuesday at 2 o'clock?
Well, that's an important thing, too. First of all, they can go on my website. It's actually Aging Matters, and it's a Facebook, not a website. Aging
Which
Matters,
a lot of people use to
Facebook,
communicate.
Yes. And the other thing is sign on to www.wera.fm, and then once you're on that site, you click listen, and then on demand. And I'm really lucky with a program that starts with A. My program is the first one, so you don't have to scroll down very far. So it's right there. And in that right-hand corner, it says Up Next, and you can just click on all of the programs, and I'm just really excited that.
So we're so fortunate that WERA 96.7 FM reaches all of Arlington and beyond. I understand it even makes it to the White House, where our oldest president lives, our oldest elected president lives. So again, tell me the Facebook page.
It's Aging Matters. The Facebook page is I can't actually remember the exact
So just
time.
type in Aging Matters and they'll
Aging
find
Matters.
you. And if they're interested in something, they can communicate with you that way.
Yes.
All right. I want to thank you very much, Cheryl Beversdorf. She is the producer and the creator of Aging Matters at WERA 96.7 FM on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. I'm going to listen in. I hope you will too. That's the Sustainable Scoop. Thanks for listening and watching. Back to the news.
All right, thanks, Miriam. And another installment of Sustainable Scoop back there behind camera 1, 2, 3. What is that, 1? I can't remember. Anyway.
Stop showing off.
We're rapidly running out of time here, so it's almost time to say goodbye. I'm late. Anything else to add, ladies and gentlemen, before we go?
We need good weather.
We need good weather.
Hopefully it won't snow.
It's the windy month, so hold on to your hats and get out there and start some gardening. Boy, spring is on the way, so we hope you have a safe and healthy week. And enjoy the great outdoors next week. If you're there, we'll be here and we'll try it all again. Have a safe week. Bye-bye.